In this episode of Dig In, I'm going to show you how to make this amazing fresh cut garland for the holiday season. Let's get started. The first thing that you want to do is gather all of your supplies and materials that you're going to need to make your garland. I like to have a pair of gloves, just in case, for sappy things and prickly things. A pair of pruners for sure for cutting everything. I like to have some pre-cut wire so that I can easily grab it and tie things together. A piece of twine, and your paddle wire. Paddle wire, you'll find out how important this is and why I love it so much as we get going. And then of course, you'll need your fresh cut greens. It can be anything. I've got Fraser fir, I've got a little bit of white pine that I'm gonna use today. It could be magnolia, it could be boxwood, it could be lots of different things. So use your imagination and use what Mother Nature provides you. But today, I'm gonna use Fraser fir and a little bit of white pine. Okay, so now that we've got our supplies ready, the first thing that I wanna do is make my bunches. So what I'm gonna do is just grab a bunch of Fraser fir and I'm gonna get it cut to size. So I form my first bunch by cutting the Fraser fir to about the size that I want, which is about 12 inches. And then I put a little piece of white pine in there just to add a little bit of different texture and movement. I'm gonna grab a piece of my pre-cut wire and I'm just gonna wrap it around the base of this bunch here and then twist it off so that it's nice and tight. And that's how we form our bunches. And now I've just gotta make a bunch of them to do this garland. I've measured this garland on my piece of twine to be about 4.5 feet long. I think I'm gonna use this on a mantelpiece. So I'll probably need about 20 bunches to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those knocked out and then we'll get them on and make our garland. Now that I have all my bunches created, all I need to do is grab my piece of twine and I'll show you how to get started with this. I'm gonna take my paddle wire, which I absolutely love, and you'll see why. It gives you a lot of mobility and ease of use. So all I'm gonna do here is just wrap this around the top piece of the twine here, just to get it started and get it tied on there. So we'll just wrap it around, make sure it's nice and tight, and then we're ready to start with our first piece, our first bunch. So we're gonna lay this flat on the table. It's easier to work that way. And you can work one direction or you can go two directions. So you can start one way and go all the way across this way, and then you can meet in the middle and go all the way this way. I'm gonna keep this one all the same way, keep it nice and simple and easy. So we're gonna start with our first bunch. We're gonna lay it right on the top of the twine. And the twine is really just acting as a guide, and the paddle wire is gonna give you the ability to really pull that onto that piece of twine nice and tight. So that's the first bunch, it's on there, and then we're gonna start with the next one. So all I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna work it all the way down, probably about 6 to 8 inches down the twine, just so I've got another marking point there. Take my next bunch and lay it right on top, and then wrap that on. Now I'll show you a trick here. This is my favorite step because if you leave it like this, your garland's gonna be a little loose. So what I like to do is to tie these two bunches together. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. It's very, very easy. Basically, you're gonna go and take your wire and bring it back up to the top bunch and wrap it around the bottom branch of your second bunch. And then it's tied in. Maybe take it around one more time just to make sure it's nice and tight in there. And then you can bring your green paddle wire back down to your next bunch. What that's gonna do is give you the ability to have a nicer, tighter garland, so it's not gonna be as floppy. So again, the twine is just your guide. Then all we have to do is just keep adding our bunches until we're done at the end of the piece of twine. So we'll get that done now. Okay, so we've connected all of the bunches together. So now we've just got the last piece to put on. It's gonna get us pretty close to the end of the twine. I measured a little bit of extra so I can just cut off the excess when I'm done. So that's how you make a fresh cut garland. It's very, very easy. It's a lot of fun. It gets you creative and you can do so many different styles and lengths. You can enjoy the fragrance of cut greens inside your home for about 3 to 4 weeks and outside for about 5 to 6 weeks. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dig In. Leave your comments below and let us know what kind of garlands you like to make during the holiday season, and we'll see you next time.